You feel it every night. That heavy, exhausted weight pulling at your body. Your eyes are burning. You've been awake for hours. Everything is telling you it's time to sleep, and yet you just can't. You lie there, staring at the ceiling, watching the clock, getting more frustrated by the minute. And the more you try to force it, the worse it gets. Here's what most people get completely wrong about this. They think the problem is too much energy, too much stress, too much caffeine. And while those things matter, they're missing the real reason this keeps happening. The problem isn't that you have too much energy. The problem is that your cells don't have enough of the right kind. Stay with me, because this is going to change how you think about sleep forever. Your brain is the most energy-hungry organ in your body. It runs on something called mitochondria, tiny power plants inside your cells that convert oxygen into usable energy. And here's what most people never hear. Quality sleep doesn't just happen because you're tired. It requires your mitochondria to be functioning well. When they're not getting enough oxygen or when key nutrients are missing, your brain can't make the transition into sleep mode, even when you're completely exhausted. So your body is running on empty, but it can't shut down. That's the paradox. And one of the biggest hidden reasons this happens, a deficiency in a single vitamin most people have never thought about. Vitamin B1, also known as thiamine. Here's where it gets interesting. When your body is low in vitamin B1, your cells can't properly use the oxygen that's already there. They behave as if they're starving for oxygen, even when oxygen levels are completely normal. Researchers call this pseudohypoxia. Think about that. Your body convinces it's suffocating even when it isn't. It triggers stress responses. It keeps your nervous system on high alert. It prevents you from dropping into that calm parasympathetic state, the one your body absolutely needs to fall asleep. And here's the part that surprises people. High-carb diets drain your B1 levels faster. Carbohydrates require thiamine to be metabolized. So if your diet is heavy on bread, pasta, sugar, or processed foods, you could be burning through B1 faster than you're replacing it and pushing yourself into the state without even knowing it. The fix, taking a B1 supplement before bed? Forms like benfotiamine or allethiamine have better absorption. For many people, this alone makes a noticeable difference in how quickly they drift off. But here's the problem. B1 is only one piece of this. There are several other major reasons your brain won't shut down at night, and most people are making at least two of them worse without realizing it. Let's start with something that doesn't get nearly enough attention: your nervous system state. Sleep researchers have a name for what you're experiencing. It's called hyperarousal, and it's the core model behind most modern insomnia science. Your brain isn't just tired, it's stuck in high alert. Elevated cortisol, faster brainwave activity, higher heart rate, a nervous system that is physiologically treating bedtime like a threat. And here's the vicious part. The frustration of not being able to sleep makes it worse. Your brain starts associating the bedroom with stress, and eventually lying down itself becomes a trigger for wakefulness. There's a powerful behavioral fix for this, and it feels completely backwards at first. If you've been in bed for more than 15 to 20 minutes and you're not asleep, get up. Go to another room, do something calm in dim light, reading, stretching, nothing stimulating until you actually feel sleepy. Then go back. This comes from a therapeutic approach called CBTI, Cognitive Behavioral Therapy for Insomnia, which is the gold standard first-line treatment for chronic sleep problems, more effective than sleep medication in the long term. And one of its core principles is this: your bed should be associated only with sleep. Every minute you spend lying awake in it trains your brain to stay awake there. It's uncomfortable to try at first, but it breaks the cycle. Now let's talk about your light environment, because this is where most people are unknowingly sabotaging themselves every single night. Inside your brain, there's a tiny structure called the suprachiasmatic nucleus, your master internal clock. It controls when melatonin rises and falls, when your core temperature drops, and when your body actually prepares for sleep. And it is extremely sensitive to light, specifically to blue light, the kind that pours from your phone, your TV, your LED bulbs. Blue light tells your brain it's still noon. It suppresses melatonin. Research shows it can delay your natural sleep onset by hours. But here's what most people miss. The other half of the equation is morning. Getting bright natural light, actual sunlight, within 30 to 60 minutes of waking sets your entire circadian rhythm for the day. It's the signal that anchors your clock. And when your clock is anchored correctly in the morning, melatonin rises at the right time in the evening. Most people focus only on avoiding evening light while completely ignoring the morning light exposure that makes evening melatonin actually work. After sunset, dim everything. Switch to warm, incandescent, or amber bulbs. Use red lighting if you can. A fireplace or a candle is ideal. Low blue spectrum, warm and calming. Get your bedroom pitch black. Black out curtains, eye mask, and eliminate all light sources. And stop watching the clock. Clock watching elevates anxiety, which elevates cortisol, which pushes sleep further away. Now let's talk about something almost nobody connects to sleep: oxygen. Actual physical oxygen in the room where you sleep. When you sleep in a closed room, CO2 levels quietly build up overnight. Elevated CO2 disrupts deep sleep, fragments your sleep cycles, and raises heart rate while you're trying to rest. The simple fix? Crack a window. Fresh air isn't just comfortable, it's functional. You can also add plants. Certain species, like snake plants, release oxygen at night rather than during the day. And research on biophilia suggests that having living things in your space creates a calm psychological effect that supports the transition into rest. Some supplements can help with this as well. Two supplements support your mitochondria's ability to use oxygen efficiently. The first is CoQ10, a compound naturally present in every cell that acts as a key carrier in the energy production chain. Levels decline with age, and 100 to 300 milligrams daily supports mitochondrial function across the board. The second is methylene blue, a compound with a history dating back to the 1800s that, in very small doses, helps mitochondria produce energy more efficiently by acting as an alternative electron carrier. This one is experimental, worth researching carefully, and worth discussing with a doctor before trying. But the mechanism is real, and the science is building. There's one more supplement most people overlook completely, and it's arguably the most accessible one on this list: magnesium. Magnesium is a mineral involved in over 300 biochemical reactions in the body, and a significant portion of the population is deficient in it. It directly supports the function of the parasympathetic nervous system, helps regulate cortisol, relaxes muscle tension, and is essential for thiamine to work properly. Without adequate magnesium, B1 supplementation is less effective. The forms that work best for sleep are magnesium glycinate or magnesium threonate. 200 to 400 milligrams taken in the evening is a well-supported low-risk intervention, with evidence for improving both sleep onset and sleep quality, particularly in older adults and people under chronic stress. Here's where things change. When you eat matters just as much as what you eat. Late meals raise your core body temperature, spike insulin, and keep your peripheral organs metabolically active at the exact moment your body is trying to slow down and enter sleep mode. Your brain uses light to set the master clock, but your body uses food timing to set the organ clocks. When you eat late, those clocks fall out of sync. Even lying in complete darkness, your body is still metabolically acting like it's midday. The recommendation: stop eating at least 3 to 5 hours before bed. If you're targeting a 10 p.m. bedtime, finish your last meal by 5 p.m. Those who apply this consistently report dramatically faster sleep onset and noticeably better quality throughout the night. And now the most important insight in this entire video. You might have tried some of these things before, one at a time, and been disappointed. That's because none of these fixes works fully in isolation. Sleep isn't a single problem with a single solution, it's a system. And that system has multiple inputs, all running simultaneously. Your mitochondrial health feeds into your ability to power down. Your light environment feeds into your melatonin timing. Your morning light anchors the clock that makes evening melatonin work. Your oxygen levels affect how deeply you sleep. Your eating schedule determines whether your body's clocks are synchronized. Your nervous system needs to be out of high alert mode, and your bedroom needs to be reassociated with sleep, not frustration. When you address just one of these, you might feel a slight improvement. When you align all of them together, the results are in a completely different category. Here's the practical sequence. Start with exercise. Regular movement, even daily walks, is one of the most powerful interventions for sleep quality. It promotes new mitochondria, improves oxygen utilization, lowers cortisol, and helps align your circadian rhythm. Morning or early afternoon is ideal. Yoga, resistance training, and moderate aerobic exercise all show strong evidence for improving how quickly you fall asleep and how deeply you stay there. Add B1 and magnesium before bed. Dim your lights after sunset and eliminate blue light. Get morning sunlight within an hour of waking. Open a window, move your last meal earlier, and if you've built a pattern of lying awake and frustrated, start applying the stimulus control principle. Get out of bed when you're not sleeping. Reteach your brain that the bed is a place for sleep, not for anxiety. These aren't hacks, these are the actual biological levers that determine whether your brain can transition into rest. Here's the one thing to take away from everything you just heard. Sleep isn't passive. It's not what happens when your brain turns off. It's what happens when your body has enough energy, the right signals, the right environment, and a nervous system calm enough to allow one of the most complex, active, restorative processes in biology to run. Your mitochondria repair themselves during sleep, your brain clears metabolic waste, your nervous system recalibrates, your memories consolidate. Sleep is the most productive thing you can do, but only if the conditions are right. The tired but wired feeling you've been living with is a signal. It means the conditions aren't right yet, not because you're broken, but because a few key systems are out of alignment. Now, you know exactly which ones, and you know what to do about them. Start with 2 or 3 changes, apply them consistently for 2 weeks, track what shifts, then add more. And if you want more content like this, practical, science-grounded tools for your body and your mind, subscribe. There's a lot more where this came from.